Hello Rebels, it's Rebel Leader back with another What If video. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Anakin chose to leave with the Son of Mortis? If you have, drop a like and continue watching for my thoughts. Things didn't turn out the way that Anakin thought they would. It's been a while since he had been on Mortis and made the decision to follow the Son. Anakin didn't want his life to turn out the way he was shown in the vision that the Son put in his head. How did he get to this point, and why did he let things play out this way? Anakin had just been shown his future and how he would end up if he continued down the current path that he was on. He saw Padme's death, the fall of the Jedi, and his turn into Vader. This vision caused him to go mad and ultimately make the decision to follow the Son at the promise of a better outcome. Instead of making his way back to the Temple of Mortis and confronting the Father only to get his memory wiped, Anakin made the decision to go off-world in his ship before Ahsoka had the chance to sabotage it. This gave Anakin the opportunity to meet up with the Son and leave Mortis. Anakin didn't know how the Son was going to change his fate, but he did know that he didn't want his life to end the way he was shown. After all, he couldn't bear to live in a world where everyone he loved died as a result of his actions. The regular mortal world did not feel the same once they got off Mortis. Perhaps it was the fact that the Son had free reign of the galaxy, or it could be that since the daughter had died, the balance of light and dark was off. Whatever it was, the galaxy that they returned to felt more sinister. Anakin knew that having the Son come to Coruscant with him was a bad idea, but he had to do something and go somewhere to escape his future. While on Coruscant, the Son wanted to meet with Palpatine and the Jedi. Anakin was reluctant to show him where the Jedi met. They eventually did make their way to the Jedi Temple, where the Son massacred every Jedi that stood in his way of power and control of the galaxy. The Jedi in the temple did not stand a chance against the Son as long as the Father lived, making him untouchable. Anakin was heartbroken and ashamed at the destruction he brought to the Jedi by bringing the Son to them. Anakin didn't know what to do, but he did know that he needed advice. So Anakin decided to go meet with Palpatine to seek counsel on what to do about the Son. Anakin met with Palpatine in the Supreme Chancellor office to discuss the options that he had. Meeting with Palpatine was one of the last things that Anakin wanted to do, especially after receiving the vision from the Son. He knew what Palpatine was, but had no other choice but to seek counsel with all of the Jedi now dead. Anakin wished that Obi-Wan was there to actually help him. Anakin regretted leaving him and Ahsoka on Mortis, but there was nothing he could do about that now. Just as Anakin was about to get some answers from Palpatine about what to do, he began to be choked and claw at his neck. Anakin turned to see the Son with his hand outstretched, standing in the doorway. Anakin wanted to help Palpatine, seeing that he was his only option and hope he had left. Just as Anakin was about to draw his saber and lunge at the Son, he heard Palpatine's body drop to the floor with a dense thud. Now his only hope for help and rescue was gone. He had nowhere else to turn for guidance. Padme was one of the last people left, but Anakin didn't want to bring her into this due to the fear for her life. He had to come up with a plan to deal with the Son, and fast, before it was too late. With everyone out of the way and no one to oppose him, the Son was able to take control of the Senate and the rest of the galaxy. As the galaxy was plunging into darkness, Anakin knew that he had to find a way back to Mortis, or at least get Ahsoka and Kenobi back to help him out. Anakin hurried back to his ship and headed to the last known coordinates of the distress call that led him to Mortis to begin with. Getting to the spot was the easy part, but now came the impossible task of getting back to Mortis, or at least Anakin thought it would be impossible. It happened like it did the first time. When Anakin woke up, he was on the outskirts outside of the Temple of Mortis. Only this time the daughter didn't find him. It was Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. Anakin thought that they would be upset that he left them behind after succumbing to the vision and leaving with the Son. Anakin expressed how sorry he was for giving in to the vision that the Son gave him and for leaving them. He was afraid that his apology wouldn't be accepted, but he couldn't have been more wrong. They explained how they knew that after talking with the Father, they understood that Anakin was doing what he thought was right. They also explained that they have been watching what has been going on, and they know how to stop the Son for good. Their plan consisted of bringing the Father to Coruscant to be killed by the Son, leaving him open and finally vulnerable to Anakin and his saber. With their plan in action, they set out to Coruscant to get rid of the evil that has plagued their galaxy long enough. The four of them got back just in time as the son was about to enact the next phase of his plan. They found the son in the Chancellor's office talking with Padme. Anakin was shocked to find her there talking with the son, but he should have known that she couldn't and wouldn't be a secret from the person that gave him the visions of his future. Anakin, fearful for Padme, rushed and charged at the son, only to be stopped by the father. Anakin didn't know how he ended up in this position. All he wanted was to help those that he loved and keep them safe. He knew that he had failed when he saw the destruction of the Jedi and was now holding Padme lifeless in his arms. It all happened so fast. Anakin was stopped by the father from attacking the son just as the son lunged and stabbed the father with the Mortis dagger. The son, then in rage, continued by stabbing Padme, fatally wounding her. Anakin was so enraged that, in his last moment of desperation, tapped into the power that the father knew he had and stopped the son in his tracks. He then thrust his saber through the son, killing him. Now he was holding the love of his life, sobbing. Maybe you can't change your fate, no matter how much you want to. After all, he was losing the one person that he didn't want to lose. In a last-ditch effort to save Padme, he turned to the father and begged him to save her with whatever strength he had left. The father, seeing the change in Anakin's future, reached out and touched Padme's forehead, transferring the rest of his life force to her, thus saving her life and giving Anakin a small ray of hope for the future that he wants. It was now up to Anakin, Padme, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan to rebuild the galaxy and the Jedi Order. Anakin didn't become Vader, but he did destroy the Jedi. And if you would like to see how Vader saved the Jedi, then check this video out. I hope you rebels have a great day, and may the Force be with you, always.